Good morning, everybody. I'm Go Via Go Home. Welcome to the Sunday Brunch Kit Builds. Every Sunday we show up, we work on some kits, some little projects. Maybe we'll do some weathering or graffiti, or even work on a layout. Today I've got a couple of small little projects that I am working on, or I have been working on, so I'm going to work on them some more. I want to say good morning to everybody. Morning, everybody who's showing up nice and early. John and Michael Trains and Bubs and Dwight Curley. How's it going, everybody? And what I normally do is I put the link if you want to join. And, obviously, if you're working on something, if you're working on a kit, if you're working on the layout, you're welcome to come up and share, and we can talk trains. Let's see what's going on, everybody. Let's give it a couple of minutes. As far as things that I'm working on right now, because I've got a few projects on the go as per usual. I think I've got about 7 or 8 of these cars here. This is the Otter Valley bulkhead pipe load car. And what I like to do is I like to dip the ends of my pipe loads. And so far I've got a couple of different ones. I think I want to do a blue set today. I think the blue would be really cool to do. So I've got a couple of different blues that I might try out, see what I like the best, because of course it is a black pipe. So I want to make sure that you can actually see the color and, that it actually makes sense. A couple other things I've been working on, of course, I have my scrapyard. So I've got things like my Furious shear, and I've got a conveyor that moves, and I painted these. It was a different color green last week, and I really like this green more, so I ended up repainting them, and they look good. Also, I've got a couple of little kits here from Mini Prints. I have a scissor lift. You can't see it because it's painted black. I did the primer on it. Saw a nice red one the other day. It was all red, and I think that's what I might do. I might do a red one, but there's a lot of signage that has to go on it, a lot of striping and whatnot. So I'm going to try some of that. And of course, I've got a wood also print. That'd be cool to do as well. But yeah, I've been working on a few things. Even with the layout, I've been doing a lot of lighting this past week, which you'll see next month when I do my layout update. I ended up getting a roll of LED thing, and after doing a few lives and looking at the top level of the layout, I find that it's very dark up there, and I'll go back and I'll watch my live to see. I like to look at certain scenes and see how they look on film and whatnot. Same thing if you take a picture of certain areas of your layout, you kind of pick it apart and just say, okay, well, what is something I can do to improve that? And of course, lighting is a huge thing. So when I was looking at the top level of my layout, it's very dark. So I created a couple of balances, and I ran the LED strip light along it, and now it's so much brighter up there. Yeah, it looks, I'm happy with it, and it'll definitely come to life a bit more, of course, once I get like the backdrops in. But yeah, it's normal. It's a normal thing. Lighting is very important though with your layout. So I think the first thing I want to do, I want to get some of these pipes done and out of the way. I've been working on these for a while, and it's probably because I've got so many of them. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Floyd. How's it going? I heard Floyd went over to James's yesterday when James did his open house. Hey, Wigwag and Dave Hughes, how's it going? All right. So, yeah, I love these pipe cards and I love the pipe loads. Very convenient. And I think I've got about 2 or 3 more bags of just pipe that I can do. But I'm thinking, do I want this blue? I think it has to be a bit darker. And I've got a couple of different blues that I can kind of look at here. Of course, it's always way bluer under these lights. I just want to give this one a bit of a stir because, okay, yes, because that's pretty light. I think I want to darken that up a bit, but I want to keep the blue. So I found this other blue, peacock blue. Canadian Locomotive Logistics, how's it going? So this blue is going to be a little bit darker, if it'll even come out. I think this is one of those ones where I haven't used it in a while, and it's going to be a pain. Probably. Yeah, it's a very royal blue. Almost a bit of a purple tinge to it. Let's make it a bit darker. So speaking of open house stuff, because James was telling me about his open house yesterday, and I was watching live, and I had mentioned it before in the chat, and Perry told me that there is a type of open house layout tour for Ottawa, and I had no idea. And I'm like, oh, there's an idea. There's something I haven't done. And I was thinking about possibly opening my layout to the public and letting people come in and take a look at the layout. So that'll be, I think that's October. It's either October or November. I can't remember. You can't even see that, can you? I can see it in real life, but it's yeah, the blue and this light are crazy. So that'll be a thing. Yeah, there was a Brant Simcoe County open house yesterday. Yeah. James said that he had a number of people come by, which is pretty cool. I don't know how busy it'll be out here in Ottawa, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. It gives me something to work towards, because I do still have quite a bit that I need to do on the layout. So it'll be that push. So as if this year wasn't going to be busy enough. So what is everybody else working on? Is everybody working on something today, or are we just hanging out? It usually takes me about two full racks. I've got a rack here that I put my pipes on. It usually takes 2 full loads to finish these pipes. So I'll probably only get 1 rack done today, which is fine, because just do it piece by piece, right? Rome wasn't built in a day and all that. Oh, and Bubs, because you're in the chat. Ta-da! I finished your pipe load, so that's ready for you next time you come by, or next time I see you. I had started it last week or the week before, I can't remember. Oh no, it must have been a couple of weeks ago, because last week I was attaching everything to get, like I was building it, so I would have had to paint it first and all that. Hey Randall, how's it going? So yeah, whenever you're stopping by next, or next time I see you, I'll give you a nice new pipe load for your bulkhead. Now, next Sunday, and I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me well, which it usually doesn't, but I'm going to take a look, because I'm pretty sure next Sunday is Easter Sunday. Yes, Easter Sunday. And it's also my son's birthday. So that means I probably will not be doing a brunch build next Sunday. I know. Kind of sad, right? But also, and I'll probably talk about it more on Thursday when we do GVO After Dark. But yeah, my schedule has kind of gone, let's say, wonky. And so where I normally work every weekend right now, or I was, but I would start at 4 o'clock. My schedule has changed completely. And the way that my schedule looks going forward is that I work every other weekend, which sounds great until you realize that, no, my complete shift has changed, where I no longer start at 4 o'clock. And they want me to start at 2:30, which, I mean, there goes my day, right? So I requested day shifts. Now, what time does the day shift start? I have no idea. I've been doing evenings for so long, I think for the past 11 years, ever since I started working with the company. But what I'm going to end up doing is, it's probably going to be in around 8 or 9 a.m. start time that I'd be starting my day. So that means on the Saturday and the Sunday that I work, I won't be able to do a brunch build. So that means the brunch build will be cutting back to every other Sunday, unfortunately, as opposed to every weekend. Yeah, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I didn't really have much of a choice there. Now, I'm obviously still going to do other lives and whatnot. Oh, we got Randall. I'm still going to do other lives and whatnot, so
hey,
no
Chris.
worries. I'll probably do. Hey, Randall, how's it going?
It's going. I'm at work right now, so just waiting on the crew. They're waiting to hear back from the dispatcher, and then we're gonna find out if we gotta take them to Williford or not. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long of a drive is that?
Yeah, it's about a 35-minute drive. Roughly, it's 28 miles, I think, by the odometer down there to where they're going.
So it's a busy day for you.
Yeah, it's kind of a short day, but it's better than nothing. So
that's true. That's true.
Last couple weeks been pretty crazy. I mean, it's been pretty busy.
Yeah. Is that just because of the time of year, things picking up again, or what?
Yeah, generally in the spring and summer, it picks up pretty good. We'll see how this summer goes, but generally about this time of the year, they start going pretty good. So,
well, it's work. right?
Well, yeah, that, and they got the work trains here too, so they're doing maintenance as well. So
Oh, nice.
um, the only thing that's here now, I'll turn my camera around where you can see it. So camera. So that's what's sitting there now. That's the Loram rail grinder.
Oh, neat.
So
And that's for their Mo service?
yeah, their MOW service.
Sweet.
That thing there, I've seen that thing run at night, and it's quite a sight at night
Yeah.
with all the lights and everything on it.
What does it do exactly?
It basically grinds the track. Um, uh, if I can get my camera to stand up, it basically grinds the track when the rail head of the rail starts to wear down. So basically, extends the life of the rail and the wheels as well.
Oh, neat.
So it
Oh,
grinds it to the correct profile, and so that the trains run as efficiently as possible. It's a pretty
neat.
neat machine.
Yeah. I don't know if we have
Oh
those
well,
up here. Not that
I'm
I've seen
probably going
them.
to have to leave. I'm going to have to leave, Chris, because here comes the crew. So I hate to cut it short, but I gotta go. So
No worries, no worries. I
all right,
appreciate you jumping on.
yeah, we'll catch you guys later.
See ya. Busy day for Randall. Yeah, as I was saying, so yeah, with my schedule, it's gonna make things a little bit more weird. It's probably for the best though, because both my kids are in sports, and I think that starts up in May, so just a couple of months away. And basically, the way that works is that they've got one day where it's practice, and then one day where they play a game, and every single day is, something. So basically, Monday night is one thing, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. So just like I did last year, where I might have to push my live show till like 8:30. So instead of starting at 8, it would start at 8:30, just to give me enough time to get home. But that's just over the summer there with all the stuff going on with the kids and whatnot. But it's going to be quite the change, because even before I worked at this company, and keeping in mind I've been with them for over 11 years, almost 12 years now, I've worked the evening shift the entire time. I prefer it, and it's worked really well for me. Um, Being able to work at night and then get to see my kids during the day and all that. But now they're at that age where everything happens after school, so needing to make that change is very important. Let's see. No worries, Randall. Thanks for jumping on. Randall always jumps up whenever I do a live, so it's no stress. John's in bed by 8. I don't know. I don't know if I could ever do that, in bed by 8. I mean, if I had to, then. But thank goodness for replays. I always have people leave me messages saying, "I'm watching the replay now," or "I just watched the replay," and I appreciate it, because even though it's a live, you still take the time to come back and check to see what was going on, what you missed. You never know when there's going to be some important announcement or something. Done it before. Bubs was at the Belleville train show yesterday. Sent me a picture of an Ontario Northland pillow, and then I had to think about where I would put this pillow. If I had a crew lounge, that'd be a no-brainer. But I'm like, O&R pillow, where do I put it? Because you know the wife won't let me put that on the bed. Wouldn't go with the rest of the decor. I'm surprisingly almost done my first lot here. I really like the blue. I like it a lot more than what I thought I would. I thought to myself, I'm like, blue. And then, on the black pipe, I don't know. But yeah, because I've already done orange and green and yellow. Definitely wanted to do something a little bit different, but it is still prototypical because there are blue tips on some of them. I have seen it. Yeah, the $25 pillow. I mean, again, awesome. I liked it. What was that? An SD40 that was on the front of it? I'm trying to think of where I would, put it. I would need a crew lounge, almost. But yeah, I'm really excited because I like the idea of being able to share, the layout with people, and it's the kind of thing where not a lot of people have access to a train layout, or B, one that's a moderate size, right? Maybe there's somebody that is looking to build one, but they have no idea how to go about doing that. So they go on these tours and they get some ideas, ask some questions, and it's just another way that you can help promote the hobby. And I think it's a really good idea. I just want to make sure my layout's at that point where I can say, okay, people can come look at it. I don't want to not have something, I want to make it worth people's time, So that's why I feel like I've got to get a lot done in a certain amount of time. But it's a great goal to work towards, I think. I'm used to having the guys come by, like, Mark and Bubs will come by and run trains, and the odd time Perry's come by. So to have other people, like random people, come, that'd be kind of cool. Perry, I sent a message looking for more information, how I can take part on a response. I don't know if they need to see pictures and all that, and I'd be willing to send them, further. Because I know they've got the Facebook group. I followed them on the Facebook group as well, and I appreciate the information and for you reaching out to them and helping out with that. Because up until you mentioned something about there being one in Ottawa, I had no idea that Ottawa had an open house train kind of show thing. So that's cool. Yeah, it's a tough call, John. But you know what? I've spent half as much on a different car or a few other cars, and I wasn't even as happy as I am with these. It's tough. It's a tough call. I know it's not cheap, but you have to be happy with your purchase. Mind you, I bought those Charger cars and they were $150 a piece, and it's like gross. I wasn't a fan. So spending $70 on a car that's very accurate. Well, to what, 65? Yeah, 65, and then a bag of pipe is 15. So, but there's enough pipe there to do multiple cars. Ah, tax season. Fun. I'm waiting for my return. And then I'll be able to go look into a possible new computer because this one was Windows 7 and I got it maybe like a year before they started rolling out that free update to Windows 8. And then when that happened, for limited time, you can upgrade your Windows 7 to Windows 8. And then everybody, well, I don't know, everybody didn't like Windows 8. But I remember not a lot of people liked Windows 8. So there's that. Okay, you can kind of see them here. There's a good chunk of them. And I think I basically get halfway through this because this other half will fill that up. I do about 50 some odd. Was it 50 or 60 rods that I do? Whoops. Did I get paint on that? No. Okay. Windows 10. Yeah, you'll notice that Windows 9 never happened. They had started it, but it was so bad that they never released it. And then they just skipped that and went right to 10. And now nobody likes Windows 11. So it's tough. I'd rather just go to Mac and just be happy. So that's what I'm going to probably do. We're mostly an Apple family anyways. We always get the iPhones, and my wife has a MacBook Pro currently, but that thing is probably older than our kids. So she's probably going to need a new one soon. But I'm thinking just get a computer and then can just invest in that in general. And then she can use it, I can use it. We can all use it. Let's see. Geranium red. That sounds like a good idea. What was the other red though? Bright red, which that might be a bit much. Deep red. You can definitely see a difference there. The bright red, which is this one, doesn't look so bright. I don't know. Maybe I use this one. Windows 12 already. I can't with some of these companies, you know. Okay, let's see how this geranium red actually looks. So the pipe colors that I choose are actual colors. So what they do is, depending on the level, the PSI pressure that the individual pipe can handle, they will put a color-coded end to it so that they know. Now, do I know what each color represents in PSI? No, I do not. And that doesn't really affect my layout in any way where I would need to know. I just like to do an assortment. Now, you would never mix, let's say, a green end pipe with a blue end pipe or a yellow. It would all be one load. So that is something to keep in mind when you're making the loads. But yeah, I've seen blue ends, green ends, red ends, orange, yellow. I'm pretty sure there's another one. Did I say green? I did say green. Yeah, I mean, like your basic colors. Hey, Trackside Mike, how's it going? But I did a little bit of research prior to, you know, picking my colors, because if there was only ever orange or yellow ends, that's all I would do. I like to see a visual first and say, okay, that is a real thing, and then I go from there. Yeah, I do want to lighten this red up a little bit because that is a very, very bright red. So I'm going to just add a little bit of white. I don't want it to turn pink. So, John, you've seen purple? Oh, man. Well, I need to know the shade, because this here, depending on the color, right? This blue, if you see the blue in real life, or maybe under my LEDs, it might look a little bit better. But it's very close to the picture that I had seen. That's why I knew I needed to go a little bit darker, but add a bit of a purplish blue to it. That's why I took a pre-existing color that I already had, which I believe was tropical blue, which is very close, but then I added a bit of this peacock blue, and you can see the difference between the two there. Again, the lighting is way off. But yeah, I added this one here to this one, and then it came out a very nice, almost like a royal blue. I'm not a professional at mixing colors and whatnot, so I want to put that out there. But I'm not terrible. So there's that. Oh, there you go. Capital Trains just reached back out to me. There's a sign up page on the website. Sold. That was easy. Again, I had no idea. I use Mac in my recording studio and DJ set up only for the layout and model railroad. I use PC for running layout software. I use Gamer PC. Chris, you ever thought about getting one of those? I used to DJ actually, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I used I used Windows with Serato, Scratch Live. I was a big fan of, well, still am a big fan of vinyl records. So I used a digital song, or I would use a vinyl, and I would scratch with a vinyl. I didn't like the whole CD turntable thing. Not a fan of those. But yeah, I don't know. I've just always been a fan of Apple. They're very user friendly, and it's nothing against Microsoft, because I'm sure they're listening. And but yeah, I don't know. I've always used Microsoft in school, right? Because that's what most of the schools used. It's what I learned and grew up on. But when you have options, right? When you have the option to go to a friend's house and say, oh, I'm going to try that. And then you just like the interface a lot more, then it makes it a lot easier to, make a decision. And I like how compatible everything is, right? Like my phone and my iPad and my computer all working together. And then, of course, my music library, all that fun stuff. Let's see. I ordered the couplers for my charger set on Friday from the place you sent me. Also did some light weathering on the loco. Cool. You'll be happy with those. You'll be happy with those couplers because I found that they are foolproof. The only other thing that you might need are the KD Euros. So the end of the cars where it connects to the locomotive, I'll put a KD Euro coupler and then put just a regular KD on your locomotive. And then what that'll do is that'll give you a really good connection there between your cars and your loco. Where the Euro ones that I sent you the link for will only do car to car. It's like, why do I need so many different couplers to make this train work? Well, ask Bachman. Also, part 2. I want to give you part 2 of my P42 experience with Athearn. Because I don't hide anything. I don't hold anything back. I don't play favorites either. But for those of you who weren't here last week, I spoke about how I got a P42 for my birthday from my lovely wife. And it's the Via Rail Love the Way. And of course I did my, unboxing and review, and I let you know how I feel about that. If you want to see my feelings on the actual locomotive, you can always go check that out after. But there was no instruction booklet included in the the package. And I even, because I don't normally use Athearn, I'm not normally a huge fan of Athearn. So the only reason why I really got it is because I know that no other company besides Kato, because I really think Kato could do it. They've done N-scale versions of similar wraps for Via Rail, but I think if they were going to announce it, they would have announced that by now. Anyways, so I had some people comment and say, well, do you not know how to use your locomotive? Is that the problem with the locomotive thing? You just don't know how to use it? I'm like, well, I mean, it definitely would help to, have the instruction booklet so I know what all the sounds are, because I normally use ESU. But they're like, well, yeah, there should be an instruction booklet in the box. I'm like, no, there's not. It took all the foam out and everything, and it's not in there. So after mentioning it, I had a handful of other people, including Trackside Mike and Dave Hughes. They never got instruction booklets either. And I mentioned it to Lauren at Otter Valley, and he said, yeah, there was a lot of people who didn't get instruction booklets for some reason. So I thought it was odd. So I reached out to Athearn or Horizon Hobbies, whatever you want to call it. It goes to one of them. And I was like, hey, I would really like a instruction booklet. And, I don't know if if it's a normal thing. Is this a weird thing? Should this have happened? I was more or less playing, I just want my instruction booklet, right? And they had responded, but it wasn't really a oh, sorry about the mix up, or sorry we left them out, or they were very 50-50, or we forgot yours, or whatever. It was more or less just here's a PDF. There you go. No apology, no nothing. I mean, I only paid like $400 on that locomotive. Well, I didn't, but still, lots of people did. And I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. And even when I expressed this in the chat last week, there was a few other people that had come forward and said, yeah, we never got our instruction booklets either. And it's weird, right? It's kind of like when you go to McDonald's and you get a drink, but they don't give you a straw, and you're like, why would you not include a straw with my beverage? You know what I mean? Like, you got the little sippy lid there, right? But you need to put the straw in there to drink I mean, you don't need it, but it's nice. So I guess Dave had reached out as well to Athern, and they kind of gave him the same sort of answer. But then you kind of have to use a little bit of a. You don't want to sound like a Karen, if you know what I mean. But you have to kind of let them know that you're not playing. So he had told me, he's like, yeah, let them know, and they're sending him one. And I'm like, oh, okay. So after not hearing anything back about the actual booklet, and all I got was the PDF, I had said to them, I said, I appreciate you sending me the PDF, but I kind of had my heart set on getting, the actual, like a physical book to go with my, locomotive. So they didn't even respond. That was a week ago. And then when Dave told me that they said that they're sending him a book, like, huh. So I sent another email saying, hey, haven't really heard back. Do you guys have the book? They had responded within, minutes saying, no, sorry, we do not have a book. There's a PDF form. And then my response to that was, well, that's not really acceptable. That's, when you're paying $400 for a locomotive, you want all of it together, right? And, I'm already not on the best terms with liking Athern as, as a whole. But this is really like one of those, nail in the coffin situations where you're just furthering me to not want to purchase, any Athern products ever. I don't care if it's something that I need or if it's something I love. I'm just not going to get it because clearly they don't care. So within half hour, I got another email. Oh yes, what's the SKU to your locomotive, and what's your address? And in my mind, I'm like, thought you didn't have one. I thought there was no book. You know what I mean? Because even with the PDF that they sent me, it was for like a GP38 and whatnot. And I'm like, that I don't know how standard these booklets are. Like, are they all the same, where they just use a picture of a GP38 instead of a P42 when it's a P42 and all that? And I don't know. All I know is that why should you have to threaten a company to never buy their product ever again just to get the darn book that it comes with? But anyways, that's what I had to do. So if anybody else is missing a book and you really want your book, honestly, just tell them that you'll never buy another Athern thing again, and then you'll be put in the queue for a book. Shouldn't have to come to that, but it looks like it did. So Yeah. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, you're absolutely right. House of Random, it's between that and quality control. I find that quality control is, very iffy as well. Hey, Sparky, how's it going? Yeah, balancing is, you know, it's very, you have to really want to do it in order to get that done. Especially when you have a layout like yours where it's massive. I mean, that's a lot of ballast. This is the little forklift here that I'm doing, or scissor lift. It's cute. It's a nice red though. I picked a nice red. Yeah, it makes sense, Sparky. I was actually mentioning that I found out that there's one for Ottawa, but it's not until like October, November ish for Ottawa. Yeah, and so I'm gonna probably put my hat in the ring for that. Yeah, it's the thing, right? It only takes one little thing like that. But for me, with the P42, I had a much higher expectation level, and I think that just with everything that I had gotten within the package, I was not thrilled with. And in turn, it came to, well, this is what we got to do now. I thought I had some sponges somewhere. My wife gave me some makeup sponges. Ah, here. Yeah, yeah. Well, the Ottawa area. So they meet at I think it's a church downtown Ottawa, and then that's where they get their map of houses that they can go to. Now, whether or not people want to travel the 30 minutes out to Stittsville to see mine, I don't know if there's anyone else in the area here that does it as well. But I might, you know. They sent the wrong piece. I emailed them and sent a pic of what I was missing. Crickets. But they were swift to take my money for the. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, of course. That's a tale as old as time, unfortunately. I want to try something here because I've got this burnt umber. It's already watered down, but I'm going to add a bit more. Just a tiny bit. And this is going to be like a rust. They had a layout in Renfrew. Oh, wow. And that's like 45 minutes past me. Dang. Things are a lot more spread out up here, huh? Oh, I just splashed. Gross. Well, did I get any on the? No, of course I didn't get any on the thing, which would have made way more sense. Oklahoma, it's at least. Yeah, that. Yeah, 4 hours. Jeez. Oh, at least an hour. Sorry, I saw it as 4 hours. But yeah, it's tough because for me, where I am, the only people I know really out here that do have a layout are at least 30 minutes. Yeah, there's Dave. He's about 45 minutes. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what comes of that. I'll keep you guys posted, obviously, and much like these other guys, like Sparky does the open house too, and he has a live cam going all day long. So I'll probably do something, you know, similar where, if there's people that don't mind me being live, then I'll put it live, and for those of you who can't come by, at least you can kind of watch. It's kind of what I already do, but at least there'll be strangers in my home as well. Walters and Atlas customer service is top notch. Called Walters about a missing piece in a kit. They sent the whole sprue. Called Atlas about a box for an engine. They sent one. I was amazed. Yeah. Yeah, Walters was pretty good. Like, I've opened up kits before and I had some missing pieces as well. And, yeah, they don't bother sending just the individual piece sometimes. They do send the whole thing, which is pretty cool. I've never had issues with Atlas, so I don't know how their customer support is. Walters again. When I had issues with my Walters switch machines, I had some that were DOA, and they did the troubleshooting thing with me over the phone. I mean, they don't know that I troubleshoot. That's my 9 to 5, but I humored them. because I had already done all the things that they wanted me to do anyways. But what I ended up doing was, well, yeah, they ended up sending me like a whole new machine because they're like, well, yeah, it's definitely kick the bucket. So Rapido has been good about things too. Um, you guys remember when I had that passenger car and it was a wrapped car and it said Cernum instead of Sarnia on the side. I thought it was funny. And then, yeah, I ended up getting the whole car, I think, was replaced at that point, which is fine because it's still, still getting replaced. It's still doing what they need to do to rectify the situation. Even Mark, he just had some car or no, he had a locomotive repaired, I think it was, and they threw in a free rolling stock in there to kind of say, my bad. Some companies they refuse to apologize and they say it's your fault, not theirs. So when you have a company say, you know what, that was our bad, and hey, here's a free thingamajig for you. That's pretty sweet. So obviously there's a level of inconvenience with it for sure, as I'm sure most of you can imagine. Forgot that this rotates too, because it lifts up and down, but it also. Sparky, you should get some of these because if you've got the scrapyard, you're gonna need a shear and a whatchamacallit, a baler. Yeah, Anthony, I was looking at those and they look pretty good. I'm wondering how much they'll be, but if they're not, ridiculous, then I might get one. I like different cabooses, so between that one and the transfer van that Otter Valley is doing, I think I've got about 5 of the wide vision cabooses that Rapido did. One from the first, or not the very first run, but one from the old run, and then I think about 4 or 5 from the newest run. They're great. I like my cabooses. So there's three different packages, Sparky. I'll send you the links after, but yeah, this thing here, and it comes with this piece here. I haven't attached it yet. And then there's string that holds that to there, and then it'll hold it up like this, right? So that's your loader. And then this is your baler. I can't pick it up because it's wet. This is the baler. It makes the little cubes. It comes on a little platform. And my Furious shear is in the other room there. But yeah, they're they're perfect for whatchamacallit, scrapyards. Do you have an overhead crane as well? The overhead traveling crane is really good for that. We're doing scrapyards. They're in the. It's not actually a box. They're in the. You know how Walthers packages things in like a not an envelope. It's like a clear plastic baggie almost, and then they put the blue thing in front. But yeah, that's where they are. Thanks, Willow Creek. I'm doing a bit. This is a different approach than what I've normally done for weathering. So what I used, they still have this, is burnt umber. This is from the Woodland Scenics rock system. I know, and you're thinking to yourself, why is he using burnt umber from rocks to weather? And well, the main part is that it's like a dark rust. And it does make the green look very, dirty. And you can put some water in there. Now the water, it is already like watered down quite a bit, but I add a bit more. And you'll see once it dries, because it's going to collect along the crevices and the edges. Probably right on here, which is fine. That'd be dirty too. Yeah, it'll look okay, I think. And then if I need to go over with some powders after, then I can do that. I want to get some of those. What are those army? Not army. It's kind of like army colored or army weathering stuff. Is it Vallejo or something? Shoot, I can't remember. They got pencils and they've got inks and all that stuff. So, because I didn't have that stuff currently on my person, I just decided, you know what? This is very close, so I'm going to use this. And I'm going to sit that there, and I probably have to drag that over to the side. And I wanted to do this yellow. Safety, right? Safety yellow. Which I'm pretty sure is that. got quite the collection here of little containers with paint inside, all my little colors that I've mixed. But now that I have a bigger workstation, it doesn't matter as much because I've got so much more room for activities. Uh, oh, okay, cool. No, yeah, if you sent him a picture of the crane, the 3 magnet claw machine. Okay, yeah, those are cool too. There's one that you can get. It has the metal. What's it called? The interchangeable ends to it. I think Mike Ho Trains was showing off something like that last week, but it was on the back of a gondola, which is really cool. There's different versions of that, but yeah, you could always try to make the taller version. That would be kind of cool. I actually have quite an extensive list on my shopping cart right now, and it's all for the Light Hub system stuff. I've got quite a bit that I need because what I want to do is I want to not redo, but I want to, I've been doing this thing where I revamp certain sections. Well, I'm already wanting to redo some of the paper, or not the paper mill. I already did that. The ethanol plant. So what I'm going to do very soon is I'm going to start doing a bit more scenery and whatnot on the top of my layout. So you're going to see more track going in. Some buildings are going to get redone and a little bit more finalized. And just overall, it's going to be a better looking section of the layout. It's going to get a little bit more TLC, because lately it's been the bottom level and the I've done a lot of scenery on the middle section, but as far as the top goes, all I got done was the main line, really. Oh, that'd be cool, Anthony. Because if he can do a little HO scale 4x8 layout, then he should be able to do a little DJ guy. That'd be cool, with some like a little table with like turntables on it or something. That'd be fun. I recommended basketball nets to Bernard. I don't know if he's going to do it or not, because everybody's got a residential section on their layout. I mean, I plan on doing it, but a lot of houses, they have the the little basketball net over the garage door. It'd be cool to just add as a detail to the front of a house. Maybe some kids playing hoops. We have the one that has a stand, so you can move the whole thing. It's not permanent. So even that would be a good idea as well. That way you can put a basketball net anywhere. Seriously, if you drive down a certain residential streets, depending on where you are, almost every other house will have a basketball net. They got kids. Or up here in Canada, hockey nets. Even I had a hockey net growing up at the front of my house. Play some street hockey, ball hockey, roller hockey. I also have an abundance of kits that I'm going to be looking to sell soon. Going to unload some kits. Some of them are half built, some of them are done being built. Some of them are painted, some of them are not painted. I just got to go through because, what happens is that I end up buying an abundance of stuff, and as things change, as, things become more permanent and I move stuff around, you end up not using everything that you get. So I'll probably sell some of my kits soon that I don't need. Yeah, James was telling me that you stopped by, Floyd. That's pretty cool. Does it look as cool in person as it does over the internet there? I'm yet to go to James's layout. I don't get out that way that much during the winter seasons, so I figured I'd probably stop by in September when I come down to the Otter Valley open house. Yeah, James has really, really nice bench work. He definitely took his time with it. It'll look real good. So like I said, next week is Easter Sunday, so I probably won't be doing a live. So I'll probably be busy looking for chocolate. Also, it's my oldest son's birthday. He'll be 11, and it's neat because when he was born, the day that he was born, it was also Easter Sunday. It's weird because like obviously Easter moves around. Sometimes it's in March, sometimes it's in April, and he just happened to have been born Easter Sunday. And there hasn't been an Easter Sunday on his birthday for 11 years. So this is the first one in 11 years. So that's kind of cool. I'm getting a lot done here. See, this is what I mean by like I have so many projects on the go. I did the pipes. I did, the little. Obviously, I'm still working on it, but I had to do the red. Then I'm doing these and this, and now I'm going to do the yellow on my little whatchamacallit here, my wood chipper shredder thing. I'm not even sure where on the layout I'm putting this. I gotta get a vehicle to pull it though, I think. So just remember, everyone, as of April, the first Sunday in April, the Sunday brunch kit build will be every other Sunday, unfortunately. But I'll pre-set up the stream. And I don't know if there's somebody that likes doing the brunch build, if it's a concept that you're a fan of and you've got a lot of kits to build, maybe someone will come forward and say, hey, I can do the one Sunday and then you do the next Sunday and then we switch. That'd be kind of cool. That way, there's always still a Sunday brunch build every single Sunday. So if anybody wants to throw their hat in for something like that, that'd be kind of cool. I need a few more paintbrushes too. I was looking at some of the weathering supplies that you can get, and I want to try a couple of different ones, just because there's a lot of options out there. So, just wondering if there's an easier way. I do it one way, but it might not necessarily be the easiest way. So I've got a lot of cars to do, and at some point I would like to try my hand at weathering a locomotive, which, as I've talked about in the past, not something I'm looking forward to, because it makes me nervous. Perry's very casual about those things. He said earlier, he's like, "Yeah, got some new couplers for my charger, weathered it a bit," and like, "Oh, you weathered that $400 locomotive?" I mean, he's good at what he does, but he's very casual about it, which is funny. Me, not so much. A guy in Connecticut used a wood chipper in a snowstorm to get rid of his wife along the highway. A highway patrolman saw it and he got arrested. Guess he thought red wood blended with white snow. Yeah, yeah, he sounds like the kind of guy that would eat yellow snow too. White snow, red snow, yellow snow. It all melts in your mouth. Uh, oh wow, you went to 17 layouts? That's crazy. Airbrush, I mean, it's one of those things that I would like to try. I've talked about it for years. Uh, you know, wanting to try it. I just haven't. I don't know. It does seem like a lot of work, but I've seen that the outcome of people using airbrushes, and I think it looks really good. I just think it would take a lot of practice and a lot of time, personally, for me, anyways. But it's probably another thing I should do or learn. I'll put it on the list. Hey Dan, how's it going? Gord King. Here's Simcoe. I hope Lauren gets more done with his layout soon. He has a really big layout. It's really nice. I remember there was a time that I wanted to travel to different layouts, different people's layouts, and do almost like a show with showing off people's layouts, and you get to see trains running and hear from the people that make those layouts. It's a lot though. It's tough. Not a lot of people like to share their layouts. So there's a lot of people that are very private about things, which is understandable. I was just thinking, I'm like, no, that's good TV. Gonna have to let some of this dry because it's takes a while for it to dry. Room's an okay temperature, which helps, but yeah, sometimes certain paint I find just takes a little bit longer to dry. Yellow is definitely one of those colors that I am not really a fan of painting with. It's because you do have to do several coats just for it to work properly. It should be okay though. It works. Okay, that should be good enough. And then I can just weather that once it's done. Okay, I just want to check these pipes. I mean, they haven't been sitting for too long, but some of them already look like they're very dry. You see the blue on there? It's not bad. You know what? It is dry already, but I don't imagine every pipe being dry because some of them the paint was a little bit thicker. I usually like to give it about like 2-3 hours, and it's literally only been an hour, so I'm just gonna leave those on there for now, and they'll dry. And by the end of the day, I'll remove all those, and I've got another load to go on there. Also, if you guys don't already know, Tim from They Make It Like That, who is our first Thursday of the month, he does a lot of graffiti and weathering, and he sells these little garbage cans. So you can go check him out, and you can order your trash bins in HO and N scale, and help support him. And they look good on the layout. It's a nice green. He used a very nice green on that. This is no dumping. It's nice of him to send those out to me. I've got to find a permanent place for them on my layout, but I'm still showing them. And you can always purchase them from makeitlikethat.etsy, so etsy.com for those. So you can kind of see that on the green, like as this dries, the rust will show up a little bit. It's a darker weathered look. And I don't mind going over that again because sometimes to get that right look, you have to do it a couple of times. Hey, Kevin, how's it going? some of these take a couple of goes at it to really have it show up. I think the red looks okay, but I do need to do some ink on it. And I'm just highlighting some of these recessed areas on the scissor lift. And it does also make it look a little bit prettier. But what it'll do is it'll gather in all the little crevices and nooks there. And it'll highlight certain sections of it. I usually do that with a lot of these smaller things that have a lot more nooks to them. Wonder if that'll fit down in there. Did the little wheels. I gotta obviously highlight them still, but I didn't want them to be black. They're normally like a tannish color, so that's why I use this one. It's a base Rathbone, so it's a bone color. So I have a bunch of these cars to weather too. I usually start with the pipe and then I'll weather the actual car. I don't know why those don't like to go in to their spots here. Should probably just glue it and that's right. Hope for the best. Thanks, Derek. Hey, James, how's it going? Let's see if I can just glue it onto the base without having to try to force it in there. So that's kind of a pain. I'm sure there's still glue in here. Oh yeah, there it is. This glue's almost done. It's a good thing I've got it back. So there's a couple of things I gotta fix on here, but other than that, I just have to weather it. But I want to let that glue dry first. James, are you going to be doing another one next year? Because it seems that there was a pretty good turnout. I think that'd be cool. Okay, so today we got some of the pipes done with the blue. As you can see, there's a blue tip on the end of these, and got a bit more done as far as weathering wise and whatnot on this one. So this is the loader, and of course this is wet. I can't. Well, I can. You know, this is the baler, and the inside is wet still. But that's gonna dry. And of course, I started on this as well. I'm not completely sure the direction I'm gonna go with this, but we'll see what happens there. So again, next week, next Sunday, there's no brunch build because it's Easter Sunday. So I wish all of you and all your families happy Easter. Tomorrow night we've got James and Mike. They'll be live for the Monday night Off the Tracks Monday, and then we'll be back here on Thursday for GVO After Dark, and we'll see you then. You guys have yourselves a great week, and we'll see you real soon. Happy modeling.